guys, it's the Business Can Man coming to you live from Maryville, Missouri. Guys, I wanted to share with you a dream I had here way before the election. And, I have a special relationship with the Lord. And there's times that the Lord shows me things or tells me things in dreams. And I had this amazing dream way before the election. And the dream started out that my family and I were traveling home on the interstate. And there begins to be just erratic behavior, just complete chaos. And there's semis running over cars and cars smashing into each other and rolling, and people driving down into the ditches and back up onto the highway, and just complete chaos, and people being disrespectful and just being mean, and and families dying, and And so we pulled off the side of the road to get out of the chaos. And so we pull off to the side, and I notice across on the other side, directly across from us, there was this nest. And it was hanging on a branch of a tree, and it was hanging there right on the edge of the interstate. And on this nest was a massive bald eagle. And this bald eagle was looking back like this, had its wings like this, and it was looking back at all the chaos, and it was protecting what was in the nest. And I noticed that in the nest there was little baby bald eagles, and the nest was growing in the number of little baby bald eagles, and it was getting heavier, and it was multiplying, and it was getting heavier and heavier. And then all of a sudden the nest gets clipped. It just gets clipped. And boom, it releases all of the eagles. And so all the little baby eagles, they come up and they start devouring all the evil and chaos. They just start devouring everything that's on this road to our home, to where our sanctuary, to where we're trying to get as a family. And they start devouring everything, everyone. And that's causing all this chaos and erratic behavior and death and destruction. And so they clean everything up, and then we have a safe passage home. And I thought, afterwards, I thought, wow, that was a crazy dream, a powerful dream. And I thought, what does this dream mean? I had no idea. And then during the election process, and Donald Trump is in Butler, and he gets nicked. He gets clipped by that bullet, you see. And boom, it released, he won the election, and it released all the baby patriots, all the baby eagles in America. And guys, we're literally in a battle of good and evil. And right now, we are trying to devour the chaos, the erratic behavior, the incorrect principles, and we're trying to save American families, save the middle class, save the poor, give them opportunity to rise instead of being held down by taxation, by censorship, by taking away our free speech and our freedom. And so we're trying to reinstitute freedom, right? Freedom from property taxes, freedom from individual taxes. And the other side wants to tax us to death, right? and and to restore education in our school system, restore our dominance in the world in knowledge and education, instead of being 28th in the world in math and science. And so we're literally patriots fighting in a war of good and evil. And that's what this is all about, guys. And so I watched an interesting video here this morning about this gentleman's thoughts on Christ and Christ consciousness. And he said, what if the truth is that Christ as an entity and individual is not returning, but Christ consciousness returns. And millions of people begin to go back to correct principles of the Constitution, of what our country was built on, of strong families, of man and a woman in marriage, and having kids, and having freedom, and freedom of speech, and the freedom from taxation, right? Correct principles. And this individual, he said, but at the same time, there will be those that use Christ's consciousness and they're antichrists. And there will be just as many antichrists, millions, as there is those that are following Christ's consciousness and correct principles. There will be just as many antichrists, and that it's a matter of consciousness. And that, I thought, that is exactly what's going on in our country. It's exactly what's going on. We are fighting pure evil of satanic things. Think about it, guys, what's going on in our country. We are supporting rapists. The other side is. They're supporting rapists, murderers, thieves, robbery, taxation, theft through taxation, fraud, corruption in our government at levels that are going to bankrupt us. These guys and policies that are absolutely causing pure chaos and erratic behavior and literally death in our country. And so here we are on the other side. We're trying to clean up the health of our country, trying to clean up the health for our kids and our children, trying to give them long-term prosperity and opportunity to prosperity for the middle class and the poor, and get rid of individual income taxes and get rid of property taxes. And these guys are fighting us tooth and nail, and they're using a good system that we have against us. That's what Antichrist does, is they use the good against you. And so they're using our judicial system, lawfare, against us. They're using our taxation of our time and labor, that money, against us. And so even within our community here in Maryville, those individuals are using taxpayer money to fund propaganda projects in Maryville. And so I don't know if you guys can see that, but that's exactly what's going on. And so they use our ignorance, and they use our time and labor, our money, and against us. And so anyhow, guys, that's what we're fighting. Thank goodness that majority of America are still cowboy Americans, that they can see through the bull S, right? And with that cowboy attitude, we can get back to some correct principles. And guys, I just wanted to share those thoughts with you. And I know that this mission that our current administration is doing is of God. I know it because of my dream. What a amazing, powerful dream. Very prophetic in many ways. And so the little baby eagles is Elon, Tulsi, Dan Bongino, right? Do you see that? Those are the baby evil, the baby eagles that are out and gobbling up chaos and gobbling up evil and gobbling up erratic behavior and reinstituting correct principles. Thank goodness that they clipped the nest. This is the Business Can Man. Go!